Hi everyone, welcome back to another interview. In this episode, I interview Magda of Cafe Fortune. Now, Magda's the FD of a Starbucks franchise, which is what Cafe Fortune is. So, if ever you've wanted to know what goes on behind the scenes at your local Starbucks, here's a pretty good insight. Magda, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, as I sort of mentioned before this, glad the heat wave sort of stopped, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Everyone is kind of relieved, I think. Yeah, British people are not really ready for this kind of weather in this country. So, yeah, it's one of those things that you just kind of glad when it's over.
Tell me a little bit more about Cafe Fortune.
Right. So, the Cafe Fortune is a Starbucks franchise. So, we operate 14 sites across England and Wales. And we planning on growing more, basically opening more sites as we go along, and yeah, just continue to employ more people and like just do more things. So yeah.
Brilliant. What was your journey into the role?
Right. So after I graduated my finance and accounting degree at Aberystwyth University, I was lucky to be employed straight after by KFC franchise, which was based in Shrewsbury. And my role was initially of an asset protection officer, which was kind of like more ops related,
Hmm.
finance related. However, my employer kind of supported me in my journey of learning more about the finance functions of the business. So I was kind of shown how the payroll side looks, how the purchase ledger looks, how management accounts work, and how kind of it all kind of links together. So as I said, even though my role was kind of more operational, I kind of got a good insight into like financing side of the business, which was great because obviously that is what I kind of studied and that's what I wanted to do. And then I think 4 years into my role with KFC franchise, my boss decided that he wanted to start a Starbucks franchise on the top of that. So I was like, I would like to be involved in the finance side of that business and kind of learn more and kind of see how it works and be kind of in charge of it. So kind of move a little bit away from that ops role into like a finance position.
Hmm.
So initially I was working for, I think, a couple of years, kind of doing both. So I was still maintaining my role with KFC franchise, doing a asset protection job, but also I was kind of doing everything to do with the finance side of the Starbucks business. And
Hmm.
then as we grew, so as we opened more sites, I kind of moved then away fully from the KFC to Starbucks. And then that's how I kind of became the financial controller at the time for Starbucks franchise. And yeah, we just kind of took it from there.
Brilliant. So it sounds like you've had a lot of sort of career growth or, changes
Yeah,
sort
I
of
was just
job role.
lucky enough to kind of like straight away after I graduated to get quite a good job with
Yeah.
the amazing employer that kind of supported me. They also financed my ACCA studies. So even like, I was obviously doing the job and then alongside that, I was actually studying, as well to kind of, progress even more.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was lucky to be honest to find that great employer straight away because I know not everyone is that lucky and not all employers are so supportive. So yeah.
Brilliant. When I was sort of researching for these questions, I saw online about the Cafe Fortune Barista Champion. Love to hear a little bit more about that.
Right. So Starbucks company, they do like barista championship every year. So they have like different baristas from all over the UK competing against each other. They showcase their like latte art and their knowledge about the coffee. Obviously, their passion about the coffee as well, which is as much important, I would say. And in 2016, I'm happy to say that one of our partners became UK champion. So basically, she went all the way through a regional kind of championship level, and then won that one, and then went to the UK one to represent us. And yeah, she won that one as well. So she absolutely smashed it. And then she represented UK on the world level and came, I think, fifth in the world on that one. So we were really proud. Yeah, she's just amazing. She's her name is Natalie. And at the moment, she's actually our district manager. So obviously, she kind of progressed with us as well. But if you meet her, she's just the most amazing and most passionate person. So she just loves Starbucks. She loves coffee. She loves Cafe Fortune, and she just bleeds coffee, I would say. It just in her heart, and you can kind of see it in her and the way she kind of, she runs as a district manager. You can just feel the passion, and yeah, it's just great to see.
Oh, that is brilliant to see. And it's sometimes something like a good hearty cup of coffee can really sort you out. So yeah.
Yeah, you would be surprised as well how much there is about the coffee. Obviously, from my perspective, I was never kind of thought about coffee more than, okay, here's your latte or here's your coffee, and you kind of take it for granted. It's kind of for most of the people anyway, it's kind of like a morning routine to have a cup of coffee. But there is so much more to it that people just are not aware of it. But obviously, in our business, in Starbucks business, obviously we learn a little bit more about it. And yeah, it's just like you can see that love across our partners, across our business. So it is just great to see. And yeah, sometimes you hear these stories that you never heard of, and you're like, wow, I didn't realize it's so much more to it than just the coffee, and how much work as well it goes into getting that coffee into that cup. It's just such a journey from farmers all the way in Africa or somewhere. And yeah, it's just a lot of hard work that goes into it, and we kind of learn about it and make it we appreciate it more than.
Yeah. So what would you say is your favorite part about your role at the moment?
I would say that kind of being involved in almost all aspects of the business. So even though obviously I am a finance director, and obviously you would think that it's only finance and that's it, I get to go to the site sometimes, see, let's say, how they execute their promotions in stores, have a chat with the partners, see how they do it on the ops level as well. Also kind of having regular meetings and chats with our ops team to kind of keep, in touch with them, and any decisions we kind of try to make together. So it's kind of always a discussion, and kind of like a cooperation between us, rather than, this is what's happening here, this is what's happening here, and then kind of have that split between, let's say, finance and ops, which sometimes obviously they can have opposing views. If you think about that, obviously they would like to spend more money, I want to save money. So it's kind of trying to kind of find that balance and put your kind of input forward as well. And it's great to see. And also because you see this kind of different parts of the business, you learn more about yourself, and then you kind of develop yourself professionally in more ways. So it's just, I think that's my favorite bit, to kind of see that from different angles and not only finance side.
Yeah, definitely almost builds a bit of a bigger picture, I guess. And
yes, exactly.
That sort of collaborative approach is, yeah.
And you just understand more about, their perspective versus yours. And sometimes you think, actually, they do make a good point, and you're trying to find that compromise that kind of will work, for all of us. So, yeah.
Brilliant. So a very, very cliche question, but if you could go back in time to give a piece of advice to a younger Magda, what would you say?
Probably be more confident and believe in yourself. Yeah, I think that would be the big one, because kind of, the journey I had, I always have to kind of work hard, but you always end up questioning yourself, if you're good enough, or, if you're doing enough. So I think that, yeah.
So what's on the horizon for Cafe Fortune?
So we do plan to grow. So at the moment, as I mentioned, we have 14 sites, but we plan to grow to up to 50 sites or even more. So at the moment, we kind of opening around 4 sites a year. So it's kind of in a big growth stage at the moment. So it is a lot, obviously, on our hands, and we kind of keep obviously employing more people on the head office level and obviously on the store level. So I think recently we just opened in May another site in Wales, and then in another couple of months we're planning to open another two. So it's just a lot of growth, I would say, and yeah, a lot of growth for us as well from our side as well, because obviously as you grow, the picture kind of changes a little bit always, because you get that bigger team that you need to manage, and you want to keep that culture that we kind of started from the very beginning, and we just find it very important. And obviously as you go bigger, it is a harder job to maintain that kind of a culture that we started with. So I think that's basically what we're focusing on at the moment.
Exciting times though.
Yes, it definitely is, but yeah, busy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me here. It's been great to learn a little bit more about Cafe Fortune. I was speaking to a franchise the other day, and it's rare that you hear the individual stories. You hear the big picture, you know, Starbucks is doing something, but the more smallest, like, you know, when you break it down into the individual businesses, it's really interesting to hear what goes on, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be different for, I think, every business, because every business obviously have different leaders. They do things differently. But at the same time, I hope that, you know, any Starbucks franchise, they have the same kind of thing at heart, which is basically passion for coffee, and trying to develop people as much as they can, and just go with the flow and just do your best. So make the Starbucks proud, basically. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for watching this interview, and I shall see you all later.